you consider yourself right now the greatest of all time?
My diet is very nice. Footballer, rock star.
Today we're gonna do some treatment. We're also gonna have a Q&A, but I'm gonna bring you along for my normal treatment, which is acupuncture. And with that, we have my main man when it comes to acupuncture and treatment.
Jakob, if you had unlimited money, what car would you buy?
Maserati MC12. I think it's one of the greatest cars ever built. Definitely one of the prettiest, but very limited and very expensive. So that's definitely a dream car.
Does the feeling of losing suck more than the feeling of winning feels good?
Yes, definitely. Or does it? I think it's a very good question, because everything is relative. And I think you have to find not only victories as wins, but just the activity, the health, the social, traveling, all the positives is obviously a big win. Not only crossing the finish line first, but crossing the finish line first definitely helps.
Will we see you race another half marathon this year?
Speaking of, no, we will probably not.
Coach Nico asks, if you weren't a runner, what other sport or profession would you be doing right now?
I think I would definitely do a sport. The most realistic one is probably football, because that's obviously a big sport in Norway and Europe and rest of the world. But I'm a very big fan of motorsport, but still you would have to have a lot of funding and also a good environment community with motorsport, and that's not a big thing in Norway, unfortunately. So maybe football, or footballer, rock star, Formula 1 driver, rally car driver, pro motorcyclist, pro cyclist, a lot of different things. I'm a big competitor, so I don't think, obviously I would choose one, but you just have to test and see where you can master something.
Zach Connell has just asked a very simple question: bicarb? Obviously, bicarb is very popular now. Everybody's slurping it before races. Have you got any experience with it? What's your opinion of it?
I think it's a good thing of making sure that you're 100% ready as a part of your preparation. But I think any more than that, I think is an overreaction. But I think if it works for you and you can have a good benefit of it, some people don't. If it affects your routines or just your digestion or whatever. But if you can make it work, then I think it's a good thing to add.
This person has asked, are you continually advancing your training methods, or do you just stick to a proven recipe that wins?
It's definitely the consistency that's taking me to the place that I am right now as a runner, based on the philosophy around high mileage, double threshold, correct intensity type of training. So I'm still being consistent and doing the same sessions, just a little bit better, but still I'm always trying to improve in all areas and changing out some sessions more towards the season and the specific work. But it's I think it's important to not forget what we have done and why we're as good as we are. So we have to be true to ourselves and remember what works and be consistent within those areas.
Sharik asked, are you the GOAT? Do you consider yourself right now the greatest of all time?
No. But I don't think anyone else is either. So it's a very difficult question. I think it all comes down to who you prefer to cheer for, because everybody has an opinion about anything. But I don't think anyone is really the GOAT. So it's definitely a spot to be taken. To be considered the GOAT, I think you need to be considered the greatest. No questions asked. It can't be a debate.
What is your current Nike shoe rotation, Jakob?
I have an amazing shoe rotation with quite a lot of different shoes, but I think it's too much to cover, so we'll do that in a different video.
How much sleep does Jakob get? They said how much sleep does the GOAT get, if we use their actual wording.
I get at least 8 hours of sleep, but hopefully 9 hours and 15 minutes. I think that's the perfect.
Very specific, 9 hours 15 minutes.
I just found that to be the limit of where I feel well rested. But usual, probably just under 9 hours is the normal amount of sleep I get.
Do you have any pre-race rituals to get yourself in the right mindset? Things that you do every time without fail?
I always take a shower 20 minutes before I leave my hotel room, just to wake up from just lying in bed the rest of the day and relaxing. I think it's a good way of starting my warm-up routines and just routines going to the track and preparing for the race. What
is your diet like these days?
My diet is very nice. No, I think it's healthy in the way that I eat as good as I can, but I'm not very strict in what I eat. It's mostly according to my training schedule. So if I have a tough session, then I'm careful with eating something that's easy to digest, and then maybe a bigger meal after. But a lot of pasta, and I really like pizza and hamburgers. So that's good additions, but obviously not every day, but once a week at least. But a lot of pasta.
Dragonfly or Victory for 3,000 years?
Victory.
What do you think about, I guess, Tesla in general, but more specifically Tesla Cybertrucks? How do you manage being a professional athlete and a dad and a husband at the same time?
Let's just say I have a great wife and what looks to be a great daughter, which makes the job a little bit easier. But at the same time, I think it's important to be there as much as I can and focus on Elizabeth and Filippa when I have the opportunity. But still, it's a lot of traveling and competitions and training. So the amount of time is very slim. So obviously that makes it a little bit easier to focus 100% on them when I can. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this was insightful and exciting. And thanks for following along. I hope you enjoyed. And see you next time. Like and subscribe. Yeah, the bell is very important. So you can get a notification every time that we post. You're super fast going in and watching it. Because you're so excited just to see us do all these fun and amazing things. Thanks.